To recap the previous part, we learned how to add geometry and edit it using nodes, then scatter it across a surface. Now, let's see how we can add some variation. Each instance of the sprinkles come with its own attributes, like rotation and scale. And for our convenience, they're exposed on the nodes so we can edit them. Here, we want to have a random value for the scale, so that we don't have seemingly the same sprinkle everywhere. Let's start with a random value node and plug it in the scale input of the instance on points node. Then we just need to adjust the values. If you noticed, there were 3 numbers in the scale parameter, each for the x, y and z axis, but the random value node gives us only one output. If we need to scale each instance on a specific value, we need a combined xyz node. That way, we can get 3 inputs and plug them in the scale. Adjusting each one gives us the wanted result. In this case, since the sprinkles are just spheres, we can get away with just plugging the random value in the scale node, and we're done with that. Next thing to do is control where the sprinkles are scattered, as it makes no sense to have them on the bottom side of the whipped cream. To do that, we need to give some information to the distribute points on surface node, whether we give it a selection or a density factor. Since sprinkles usually stick only on the top of the whipped cream, we need a way to mark only the faces or polygons facing up and feed them to the density factor. Add a normal node. The normals of an object basically indicate which polygons face left to right, which face front to back, and up to down, using the red, green and blue colors. If we get a separate XYZ node, we can even visualize that in black and white. You can guess which one we need to plug in the density factor, and if you want some more control, we can add a curves node to adjust how much the sprinkles spread. And with that, we have the whole model set up and we can move on to shading. Just to recap, we learned how to randomize attributes and a co-procedural way to select faces based on their direction. In the next episode, we will cover the basics of shading. Also, if you have skipped some of the previous steps but wish to follow along from here, you can get all the project files for this tutorial series from the link in the description below. I'll also be adding some bonus videos in there if anyone wants to speed up their learning process. Subscribe for more tutorials and see you in the next episode.